Hi, and welcome to Broookdale Newsmakers, your source for what's happening on our campus and in your community. I'm Tim Ketafemo, and joining us today is Dean Richard Pfeffer from Enrollment, Development, and Student Affairs to talk about the Roadmap Grant. Thanks for joining us, Dean Richard. How are you?
Thanks so much for having me on there.
Now, I know today you're going to be talking about the Roadmap Grant, which, as you know, out of the 10 colleges all across the nation, Broookdale was selected as one of them. And given this opportunity for this grant, maybe give me a little bit of a brief overview of what the grant is all about.
Sure. It's sponsored by the American Association of Colleges and Universities, and it is a very competitive grant. There's around, I think, 3,000 community colleges across the country. We were one of 10 to get it this year. And the focus of the grant really is to give colleges some support in how can we help students succeed. That's really kind of the underpinning of all of it.
Of course. Now, I know that there's also 3 components to the grant. There's the, let me look at my notes here, the navigational tool, the Student Success Seminar, and the High Impact Practices program, all part of the one grant.
Exactly.
Maybe discuss each one, starting with the first one, the navigational tool.
Okay, and again, just for a feel for this, what happens with this grant is colleges are given some resources to pick areas that they think for them would help encourage and improve student success. So for the 10 colleges across the country who got the grant, they may have different kind of focuses than we picked. But the first one we wanted was, we call it a navigational tool. We played with a lot of names. At one point we had GPS for success, but we thought a little too cutesy these days. But really, there is no one place where a student could look and say, okay, what are the 12 things I need to do first semester, second semester, third, from applying to graduating.
As like a guide, yeah.
Exactly. Something that you could kind of even just check off and say, oh yeah, gee, I got to remember. So our first piece for this is this navigational tool. We're calling it a graduation roadmap.
Okay.
And ultimately it will define the different stages and different steps that people need to take throughout their career. And one place where you could check off and say, oh yeah, I got to remember to file my financial aid paperwork. I've got to go see career services. I want to get involved with student activities, those kinds of things. It'll just be in one place. Hopefully web-based and even a little more than
Possibly,
that.
I heard that you were going to do a mobile app.
Absolutely. We'd really love to do a mobile app. We're trying to move this to the way that's most convenient for our students. And if looking at students walking down the halls is any indication, I think a mobile app is where we have to go.
All right, so the second one is the Student Success Seminar. Maybe very briefly discuss that, and then we'll go to the last one.
Yep, and that's really near and dear to me. This is we offer a course now that we call the Freshman Success Seminar, HUDV 107, and most colleges have some sort of a course like this. And it's really to teach skills that you need to succeed: goal planning, time management, communication skills, test-taking skills, and people don't recognize. There's tricks to taking tests and doing better, more than just knowing the material. We only about 400 or 500 students a semester take, really freshmen are ones who take it. We're looking at redeveloping that course and opening it to a much larger population.
Now, what about the last one, the High Impact Practices? That's the title of it, but I know it does a lot more
Exactly.
than that.
And what we've learned and what we're seeing is that the more engaged, and it makes sense, the more engaged the student is in their own education, the better they're going to do. It's just as simple as that. So even though we don't have an awful lot of faculty who stand up there and lecture, the goal of high impact practices is to take more active engagement activities and incorporate them into the classroom. So our first year experience program, where we have a passport program and students have to go outside of the classroom and have different experiences. Common intellectual experience, we call it. Cross-cultural, intensive writing courses. Those kinds of things where the student has to get much more actively involved as opposed to just taking notes in a test are what we're looking to do with the high impact practices piece of this.
All right, well, it sounds really exciting. Thank you for joining us, and today's guest, Dean Richard Pfeffer. For more information or to watch us on demand, log on to brookdalecc.edu. I'm Tim Ketafemo. Thanks for watching.